Travis Wayne Goodsell. We have a special moon on Monday. A new moon on Monday. Full moon, technically. Hold on a second. Okay. And so it's a worm moon because it's the one in March. And that's when all the food for the birds comes out to play. The early bird catches the worm. And it's also the day that I'm predicting that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints' legal firm, Curtin and McConkie, will return to me the waiver of summons in the mail, as I had to send them 2 copies and a self-addressed stamped envelope back to me, as I've gone over already for you in other videos. And so, very interesting. It's also the start of Purim that evening, because the Jews start their days at night. It's a Babylonian thing, and that's why they're confused as to their identity. They're Egyptian, not Babylonian. Again, covered it in all my other videos. And so you'll also notice that in the second frame that I showed you there, and it's really cool, stellarium.org allows you to download your own version for your computer system. You've got to have a fairly recent update. The computer I'm using here is a refurbished system, but it still is sufficient to handle the download. I get the 64 byte version rather than the 32. You'll see it at the top. And I think if I remember correctly, you'll get a warning, unknown, dangerous. Don't worry about that. Doesn't do nothing. Other than give you real awesome entertainment. So yeah, the moon that you see there in close up on the screen, you see it moving. And that's in the future, guys. That's what's awesome, is I can see into the future with this stellarium.org. And so, yeah, it's great. And then zooming back, you see the second frame there. It's the crown of the woman. Virgo. The woman. You know, Revelation chapter 12. That sign has already occurred. This is just helping you understand that there's other signs than just the main ones in the Bible. And so, yes, Virgo represents the church, because out of the church came the man-child talked about in Revelation chapter 12, and that was Jupiter. And so here we have the moon, which the ancient Egyptians identified as religion, the sun as government. And so the full moon is the moon in all its glory, and it's a super moon to boot, which means it's extremely close to Earth, thus super. And so this makes it very significant as the start of Purim. Now, you may not know about Purim if you don't know your Old Testament Mesopotamian document of Ishtar. I went over this in the other video the other day. Yeah, Ishtar Easter is hold on a second, I'm doing another distraction search. Alright, so the book of Esther, Ishtar, Mesopotamian goddess, with Mordecai, Marduk, Mesopotamian god, and depends on which king was ruling Assyria at the time as to which god dominated. So with Ishtar being the main goddess of the story of the Bible, then you know the time period that they're referring to. It's not simple. And so again, woman goddess, woman constellation, supermoon, full moon to start Purim. Purim, if you don't know, means lots, as in drawing lots, your lot in life, that definition. And so when you know the story of Ishtar, Esther, you realize that it's a freedom from bondage story. And so when you compare it with the other stories of the Bible, Samson, freedom from the Philistines. Moses, freedom from the Egyptians. They're all apocalyptic literature of the latter days. Revelation, Apocalypse, and freedom. Free at last, free at last. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land, let my people go. And so there's a symbol for you. And as Mormons know from watching my videos, because of the signs, you can't just say, I want the sign to be interpreted this way. It's my opinion, therefore it's true. It doesn't work that way. You have to correspond the interpretation with the events on the earth. So when the total solar eclipse occurred right before this sign over America, you therefore must. You cannot vary from the interpretation to say, oh, the church is the pope, therefore, and the man-child is the pope, and whatever. No, you can't do that. It's a religion in America that has fallen into apostasy with the murder of the founder and has someone born in that organization to be that person. You can't interpret it any other way. I know Christians want to. You can't. And that's what you're looking for. That's what the ancients saw. They knew. And you can't vary from that. And so, yes, it's the Mormon Church. Virgo represents the Mormon Church. As the true leader of the church is born out of the woman, out of the church, to replace the corrupt leader. And so Leo has 9 recognizable stars according to the ancients. Yes, I know there are billions, multi-trillion, gazillions, but they identified 9 star points to make up the constellation of Leo. But it says in Revelation chapter 12 stars. And so that means 3 have to be added. So 3 are missing, and then get added 3. Anybody know their church history in 2014, 2015? In 2015, after the third tetrad, blood moon. Yeah, 3 apostles. Boom, boom, boom. God took them out. And Nelson got replaced as the president of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, the underboss of the criminal organization, to succeed on the throne of the church. The false prophet of Revelation. It's not my interpretation, guys. Their interpretation. So don't blame me. I'm not responsible. And so here we have Monday at 12:30 in the afternoon is the official full moon, the official super warm full moon at the crown of the church. And what is going on earth on that day? Now, the church lawyers are going to have to cough up the waiver of service on that day. They've already talked with the brethren on Thursday about it. I haven't found anything about it, and they're not going to release any information on that as to what is going on. They've already exposed themselves after the Enzyme Peak Associates scandal of not paying out into charity. And so guess what happened last week? The church does all this charity. See, we're doing charity. It's token amounts, a truckload. That's it. It's nothing. And so, let's see, Church of Jesucristo de los Sotos de los Últimos Días contra virus. Church newsroom. And nope, nothing. Just has the donation stuff on there and the church closing down because of contravirus. After I came out and said the church is having their last Sunday. I amaze myself. It's just incredible. But yeah, it's over, guys. We have conquered. David has slain Goliath. And if you didn't know, David slaying Goliath is apocalyptic literature. Didn't know that, did you? Because it wasn't David who actually slew Goliath. It was his soldier, as David was king at the time. You didn't know that? You're missing out. Goliath. I wouldn't have known it. See, here it is. 1 Chronicles 20. Oh, and got a 2 Samuel also in here. I think. Let's see here. No, this is somebody slew the brother of Goliath. Brother of Goliath. I think this is a mistranslation because they slew Goliath according to the text. So, yeah, we're looking at a mistranslation here. Let's see if I can. And there was war again with the Philistines, and Elhanan, the son of Jair, slew Lami, the brother of Goliath, the Gittite. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. And yet again there was war with Gath. But when he defiled Israel, Jonathan, the son of Shemiah, David's brother, slew him. And David slew him. Maybe that's not. We'll check all of the references here. Sword of Goliath the Philistine. Sword of the Philistine. King sent Abimelech the priest, son of Ahitub, and all his father's house. The priest. Okay. Servant of David slew him. And smote the Philistine. Wait a minute, what do we have here? Battle of the Philistine. Anyway. I'll have to search for it, but it's apocalyptic literature. David slaying Goliath. Again, man-child, ruler of the world. David, a boy, slays Goliath, becomes king. Samson, as a young man, getting married at the carcass of a lion with a beehive. And I've already talked about that. Temple Square. What's a Temple Square? After many people in the Mormon church get sealed in the Salt Lake Temple, they then have a wedding feast at the Lion House, next to the Beehive House. You can even have beehive honey at the Lion House, and good honey. Yeah. And so I've already talked all about that. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Armageddon in the making. I forgot to mention the Book of Ishtar. Notice that the story is about Hagar, who builds this killing machine to kill the Israelites, and Esther brings the matter to the king, and the king then uses that weapon on Hagar and kills him instead. So that's the moral of the story. That which you set a trap for the people of God, you end up being punished by that trap. So yeah, just something to think about. My case was similar to that. Even in 2008, I filed a lawsuit against the state of Utah and the Mormon Church, and I was disappeared. Again, like I did in the video this morning, it's against the law to protest. It's against the law to file a lawsuit against those in authority, whether religious or government. And so now I'm able to use that lawsuit against them in this current case. That's the evidence. Hey, you guys disappeared me. I was supposed to go to trial. You guys didn't do that. Busted. Oh, and by the way, the person that disappeared me, that you've been paying them. Got the evidence on that. So, busted. So they get to fall on the same trap that they set for me.